Look, I'm gonna tell you something nobody else wants to admit. You don't need 30 grand to own a Harley Davidson. I know. Walk into any dealer and they'll try convincing you otherwise. But they're lying. There are 13 Harleys out there right now, sitting on Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, dealer used lots, that cost less than a decent used car, and they're perfect for senior riders. Low seat heights, reliable engines, easy maintenance, and most importantly, they actually work. Here's the thing though, nobody talks about these bikes. Dealers want you financing a brand new Road Glide at $800 a month. YouTube wants you clicking on videos about the latest 2026 models. But the best Harleys for most people, they're 15 to 20 years old, and nobody's making videos about them. I'm fixing that right now. In the next 20 minutes, I'm walking you through all 13. Why they're perfect for riders over 50. What to look for. What to avoid. Real prices from real markets. No BS. But first, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button. I'm serious. I'm one of the only channels giving you actual honest advice about buying affordable Harleys without trying to sell you something or push dealer inventory. If you want more videos like this, you gotta let YouTube know. Hit subscribe, smash that bell, and drop a comment telling me which of these 13 you'd actually buy. That algorithm stuff matters. Alright, let's get into it. Starting at number 13, because it's the cheapest way into Harley ownership. Period. The Evolution Sportster 883. Here's what you need to know. From 1986 through 1999, Harley built the Sportster with the Evo engine. And that engine? It's damn near bulletproof. I'm not exaggerating. These things run forever if you change the oil. You can find decent examples. I'm talking rideable, not pristine. For $3,500 to $6,000 depending on year and mileage. That's less than a used Honda Civic. For a Harley Davidson. Now, why do seniors love these? 4 reasons. 1. The seat height's only about 27 inches depending on the model. You're not going to be tiptoeing at stoplights. 2. They're light, under 500 pounds. If you drop it, and look, it happens, you can actually pick it up. 3. They're simple. Carbureted, air-cooled, 2 cylinders. Nothing complicated to break. 4. Parts are everywhere. You can fix these in your garage with basic tools and YouTube videos. But here's the honest truth about Sportsters. They vibrate. A lot. That's just what they do. If you want a smooth ride, buy a Honda. But if you want that Harley feel, that character, that soul, this is it. And for under 6 grand? Come on, that's a steal. Look for mid to late 90s models. The earlier ones had some issues Harley sorted out by 95 or so. Check for oil leaks. They all leak eventually, but you don't want puddles. Make sure it shifts smooth. And for the love of God, don't buy one that's been sitting for 5 years without running. Carbs get gummed up, and you'll spend more fixing it than you saved buying it cheap. Let me tell you why this bike's on here instead of higher up. It's newer. It's fuel injected. It's got more power than the 883. And the low model has an even lower seat height, like 25 inches. My mom could flat-foot this thing. You're looking at $5,500 to $7,500 for a decent one. Maybe $8,000 if it's cherry with low miles. Here's where I'm gonna be real with you though. The 1200 low is almost too low. Sounds weird, right? But if you're over 6 feet tall, you're gonna feel cramped. Your knees are gonna be in your chest. This bike was designed for shorter riders, and if that's you, it's perfect. If you're a bigger guy, keep scrolling. But the reason seniors love it, beyond the seat height, is the power. The 1200 has actual grunt. You can cruise highways without feeling like the bike's working too hard. Passing power exists. And fuel injection means it starts every time. No choke, no carb issues. You turn the key and go. The only thing I'll warn you about is the suspension. It's soft, really soft. If you're a bigger rider or you're planning on riding 2-up, you're gonna bottom out over bumps. But for solo riding at reasonable speeds, it's comfortable as hell. Now we're getting into bigger bikes. The Softail Standard from this era is one of those Harleys that everybody forgets about. It's not flashy, no chrome everywhere, no fancy paint. It's just a solid, no-nonsense cruiser. And that's exactly why it's perfect for senior riders who actually want to ride instead of polish their bike every weekend. Price range? 8 to 10 grand for good examples. Maybe 12 if it's got super low miles and has been babied. But I've seen ratty ones for 6 or 7 that run fine if you don't care about cosmetics. The Softail Standard's got the twin cam 88 engine from these years. Some people trash talk the twin cam. Oh, the cam chain tensioners fail. Oh, the compensator's weak. Look, every engine has issues. But if the bike you're looking at has over 20,000 miles and hasn't exploded yet, the problems were probably already fixed by a previous owner. What I love about this bike is the riding position. It's laid back but not ridiculous like some choppers. You can actually ride it for hours without your back screaming at you. The seat height's about 26 inches. Weight's around 650. It's substantial, but not a monster. And here's a pro tip nobody tells you. The Softail Standard has hidden rear suspension. Looks like a hardtail, but rides way better. Seniors love that because it's comfortable, but still looks badass. Check the cam chain tensioners if you're buying one. Seriously, if they haven't been upgraded to the hydraulic ones, budget another $500 to do it before they fail and trash your engine. Also, check the compensator for noise. If it rattles when you blip the throttle, it's worn and needs replacement. Okay, confession time. The Fat Boy from this era is kind of a guilty pleasure of mine. It's heavy. It's not particularly fast. But man, does it look good sitting in your garage? And seniors absolutely love these things. Why? Because they're iconic. Everyone knows what a Fat Boy is. You pull up somewhere and people notice. It's a statement bike. Price-wise, you're looking at $8,500 to $11,000, depending on condition and miles. The good news is, there's a ton of them out there. Harley sold these like crazy in the early 2000s, so finding one isn't hard. Here's what makes it senior-friendly. The low seat, about 26 inches. The wide tires that make it feel planted and stable. The solid disc wheels that look mean, but are actually easier to keep clean than spoked wheels. And honestly, the weight. I know that sounds backwards, but once you're moving, that 680-pound mass feels really stable. Crosswinds don't push you around. Highway riding is confidence-inspiring. The downside? Parking lot speeds. Maneuvering a Fat Boy at walking pace takes some muscle and technique. If you've got any mobility issues or weak legs, this might not be the bike for you. Also, expect 10 miles per gallon, less than lighter Harleys. That big 88 cubic inch engine drinking gas while pushing all that weight around adds up. But if you want a bike that screams classic Harley, and you're okay with the weight, the early 2000s Fat Boy is hard to beat at this price point. Let me tell you about the Street Bob. This is probably my favorite bike on this list. And I'm not alone. Tons of older riders love these things. Why? Because it's stripped down. No fairings. No tour pack. No saddlebags. Just a bike. Simple. Clean. Raw. You're looking at 7 to 9 grand for good ones from this era. Maybe 10 if it's pristine and low mileage. But I've seen decent riders for $6,500. The Street Bob's a Dyna. That means rubber-mounted engine. Way less vibration than a Sportster. More comfortable for long rides. And the Dyna chassis? It's probably the best handling platform Harley ever built. I know cruiser guys don't care about handling, but trust me, when you ride a Dyna through some twisties, you get it. Seat height's about 26 inches. Weight's mid-600s. Forward controls. Mid-mounted foot pegs. Everything's in the right place. You can ride this thing all day and not feel beat up. The only real downside is the lack of wind protection. No fairing means bugs in your teeth and wind buffeting above 60 imp. Some guys throw on a small windscreen. Purists hate that look, but who cares? You're not riding it to impress teenagers on sport bikes. Check the compensator on these. Dynas from this era had the same weak compensator as other twin cams. Listen for rattling. Also check the clutch. They're hydraulic and sometimes develop leaks. Not a huge deal to fix, but something to budget for. Speaking of Dynas, let's talk about the Super Glide. This is the base model Dyna. No frills, no fancy paint schemes, just a solid motorcycle. And that makes it cheap. 6 to 8 grand depending on condition. Maybe 9 for really nice ones. Here's why it makes the list. Everything I said about the Street Bob applies here too. Same chassis, same handling, same comfort. The difference is, this one's older and cheaper. The Super Glide from these years has either a carbureted or fuel-injected twin-cam 88. The early ones, 2000, 2001, are carbureted. 2002 and up got fuel injection. Personally, I'd go fuel injected. Carbs are fine if you know how to tune them, but most people don't and end up with bikes that run like crap. Seat height's about 27 inches. Weight's around 630 pounds. Lighter than the Street Bob because less stuff bolted on. That actually makes it easier to handle for some riders. The Super Glide's got this weird rep as the boring Harley. And yeah, it's not flashy. But you know what? Boring means reliable. Boring means affordable. Boring means you can actually ride it instead of worrying about scratching custom paint. I've seen guys buy these, ride them for 5 years, and sell them for what they paid. That's good value right there. Alright, now we're getting into touring bikes. The Road King with the Evolution engine. These are legendary. Seriously. If you talk to old school Harley guys, they'll tell you the Evo Road King is the best bike Harley ever built. And they might be right. Price? 7 to 9.5, depending on miles and condition. High mileage ones, like over 50,000 miles, you can find for 6 grand. Low mileage garage queens might be 11 or 12. Here's the deal. The Evo engine is stupid reliable. I keep saying that, but it's true. These things run forever. The Road King frame is comfortable. Big touring seat, plenty of room. Detachable windshield. You can run it naked, or with wind protection depending on the ride. And because it's a touring bike, it's got saddlebags. Actual luggage capacity. You can take weekend trips, carry groceries, whatever. Seniors love these because they're comfortable, reliable, and capable. You can ride 2 up with a passenger no problem. The seat height's about 27 inches. Not quite as low as Sportsters, but most people can manage it. And the weight, around 700 pounds, feels stable and planted. The downside is weight. 700 pounds is a lot if you're not used to it. Low speed maneuvering takes practice. Parking on an incline can be sketchy if you're not confident. Also, these are 25 to 30 years old now. Check everything. Brakes, tires, fork seals, clutch. These bikes have miles on them, and previous owners might have deferred maintenance. Budget an extra $1,000 to bring it up to snuff if you find a deal that seems too good. Let me be honest about this one. The Heritage Softail Classic is not my style. It's got too much chrome, too much retro styling, too many tassels and leather fringe. But seniors love it. Like, love it. Because it looks like a classic Harley from the 1950s, but rides like a modern bike. You're looking at 9 to 12 grand for decent ones. Maybe 13 for low mileage examples, with all the accessories. The Heritage has the twin cam 88 or 96, depending on year. 2007 and up got the bigger 96 engine. It's comfortable as hell. Big plush seat, passenger backrest, floorboards instead of foot pegs. It's a couch on wheels. Seat height's about 26 inches. Weight's about 700 pounds. So similar to the Road King, but with hidden rear suspension, like other Softails. Rides smooth. Handles decent for a big bike. Comes with saddlebags and a windshield from the factory. That's huge if you're actually planning to ride it and not just pose. You've got weather protection and carrying capacity right out of the box. The thing about the Heritage is it appeals to a specific type of rider. If you want classic Harley style and don't care about looking tough or modern, this is your bike. It's not embarrassing. It's just different. Check the cam chain tensioners like all twin cams. Check the rear belt. They wear out and aren't cheap to replace. Make sure the saddlebags aren't cracked. And test ride it to make sure the suspension isn't sagging. That's a common issue on older Softails. Back to Dynas. The wide glide from this era is cooler than it has any right to be. Wide front fork, ape hanger handlebars, fat rear tire. It's basically a factory chopper that you can actually ride comfortably, and that's rare. Price range is $6,500 to $8,500. Maybe $9,000 for mint ones with low miles. Why do seniors like it? Because it looks like a badass custom bike, but rides like a regular Harley. The Dyna chassis means it handles well. The rubber-mounted engine means vibrations manageable. And despite the ape hangers, the riding position's actually comfortable if you're tall. If you're short, those bars might be a reach though. Seat height's about 27 inches. Weight's around 650. Right in that sweet spot of not too heavy, not too light. The wide glide's got character. It stands out. You're not gonna pull up at a rally and see 20 identical bikes like with Road King. It's distinctive. Downsides, the ape hangers make highway riding in strong winds tiring. Your arms are a sail. Also, the wide front fork doesn't park well on side stands. Some guys upgrade to center stands or wider side stands. And the 21-inch front wheel means tire choices are limited and more expensive than standard 16 or 19-inch wheels. But if you want a Harley with personality that doesn't cost custom bike money, the Dyna Wide Glide delivers. Now we're talking full dresser touring bikes. The Electra Glide Standard. This is the Batwing fairing model without all the bells and whistles of the Ultra Classic. No stereo, no tour pack, just fairing, saddlebags, and bike. And that keeps the price reasonable. $7,500 to $10,000. Maybe $12,000 for really nice ones with low miles. Why seniors love this? Ultimate comfort and protection. The Batwing fairing blocks wind like nothing else. You can ride all day without getting beat up. The seat's huge. The saddlebags are massive. You can do cross-country trips on this thing without breaking a sweat. Seat height's about 27 inches. Weight's around 750. Yes, that's heavy. But once you're moving, it feels like a rolling sofa. Smooth, comfortable, confidence-inspiring. The Twin Cam 88 from these years is solid if it's been maintained. Check for the usual cam chain, tensioner, and compensator issues. Also, check the tour pack mounts. If someone added a tour pack, make sure it's bolted on properly and not cracking the fender. The Electra Glide Standard's boring. Let's be real, it's the plain vanilla version. But sometimes vanilla's exactly what you want. No drama, no flashiness, just a bike that works and eats miles. We talked about the Evo Road King earlier. This is the twin cam version. And honestly, it's probably a better buy for most people because it's newer and fuel injected from the factory. $9,000 to $12,500 depending on condition and miles. Maybe $14,000 for pristine garage queens. The Road King Classic adds leather saddlebags and some extra chrome compared to the base Road King. That's why it costs a bit more. But it's the same platform underneath. Comfortable, capable, reliable. The Twin Cam 88 or 96 engine is solid by these years. Harley had worked out most of the early bugs. The fuel injection's reliable. The bike just works. Seat height's about 26.5 inches. Weight's around 750. Similar to the Electra Glide, but with a detachable windshield instead of a fixed fairing. That makes it more versatile. Windshield on for touring, off for around town cruising. Seniors love the Road King because it's the perfect do-everything Harley. Comfortable enough for long trips. Cool enough to not look like a grandpa bike. Practical enough to use daily. The only knock against it is the same as all heavy touring bikes. Low-speed maneuvering. 750 pounds is a lot. You need to be comfortable with that weight. Also, maintenance costs more. Tires are expensive. Brake pads are expensive. Everything's bigger and pricier than on smaller bikes. But if you want one Harley that does everything well, the Road King Classic's hard to beat. Wait, didn't we already cover this one? No. That was 2000, 2003. This is 2004, 2006. Different generation. Stay with me here because this matters. The 2004-2006 Super Glide got the bigger 88 cubic inch engine standard, fuel injection, and some reliability improvements. It's a better bike than the earlier ones, and you can still find them for 6 to 8 grand. Maybe 9 for perfect examples. Everything I said about Dyna applies. Great handling, comfortable riding position, reliable when maintained. The Aero 406 Superglide is just the refined version. Here's why it's number 2 on this list instead of number 8. Price to value ratio. For 6 to 8 grand, you're getting a fuel-injected, twin-cam 88 Dyna chassis Harley that's only about 20 years old. That's incredible value. Compare that to buying a new Harley for 30 grand. You're saving $22,000. Think about that. 22 grand you can spend on gas, maintenance, upgrades, or another bike. The Superglide's boring. I've said that. But it's boringly good. It's the Toyota Camry of Harleys. Not exciting, but reliable and practical, and it gets the job done without drama. If you're a senior who wants to ride and not wrench, and you want to save money, and you don't care about impressing anyone, the Aero 406 Superglide might be the best bike on this list. Number 1, and I bet you didn't see this coming. The Dyna Low Rider from the 1990s with the Evolution engine is the sweet spot of Harley ownership for seniors on a budget. Here's why. Price, $5,000 to $7,500. That's it. For a Harley, that'll run another 100,000 miles if you maintain it. It's got the bulletproof Evo engine, the Dyna chassis, a lowered seat around 26 inches, forward controls, comfortable ergonomics, and it weighs only about 620 pounds. That's light for a big twin Harley. Why is it perfect for seniors? Because it does everything well and costs peanuts. You can cruise highways. You can ride twisties. You can do weekend trips. You can commute. And when something needs fixing, parts are cheap and available everywhere. The Dyna Low Rider's not fancy. No fuel injection. It's carbureted. No modern electronics. Just a motorcycle. And that's beautiful in its simplicity. Here's my thinking. If you're a senior who wants to get into Harley ownership without spending crazy money, this is the bike. It's proven reliable. It's affordable to buy and maintain. It's comfortable. And it's light enough that you're not going to struggle with it. Yeah, newer bikes have fuel injection and better brakes and whatever. But do you need that? Or do you just want a bike that runs, sounds good, and lets you enjoy riding without worrying about money? That's the Dyna Low Rider. So there you have it. 13 Harleys that seniors love and nobody talks about. From $3,500 up to maybe 13 grand depending on what you want. You don't need to spend $30,000. You don't need a brand new bike. You just need something reliable, comfortable, and affordable. Now, I want to know, which one would you actually buy? Drop it in the comments. And if I missed your favorite budget Harley, let me know that too. If this helped you, hit that like button and share it with your buddies who keep saying they can't afford a Harley. Yes, they can. They just need to know where to look. Subscribe for more videos like this. I'm doing real Harley content for real riders. Not dealers, not manufacturers, just people who want to ride. Thanks for watching. Now get out there and find your bike.